What is going on, Vigo's Court? I am your judge, Judge Vader, and I am joined by the lovely Counselor Shep.
Hello, everybody. Good evening now, I believe, for you guys. Good evening, Vigo's Court.
Oh, yes. An amazing matchup we have coming up between Wrecking Crew and Corrupt. Yeah, so this is going to be an amazing matchup. You can see the lobby's already set as well, so this should be getting started here soon. Are you excited, Shep?
I am incredibly excited. I think both of these teams are going to provide very good, very fun gameplay, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the table against one another today.
For sure, yeah. Like I think these guys are. I mean, one, they're both like just amazing teams. Of course, we know a lot of the Corrupt players from Runaways, actually, but so we know that they'll be strong on the Survivor side, and it looks like we just lost connection to the lobby, so oops, we're gonna have to just try reconnecting again here soon. But for sure, this will be a fun match to watch, honestly.
Absolutely. Also, Vader, I like that you brought dark mode into the chat here today.
Dark mode, just like, you know, in my house here, over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunately my skylight is no longer getting the natural light it was earlier, so you know I have a little bit of lighting, but the light is still coming through, so you're not seeing all of my red lights. I do have my ring light on right now to like try to also illuminate myself, but you know, it's
Daylight savings time is hard. Daylight savings time is hard.
It's tough in here for a Vader right now. You know, it's a little tough. I am. Yeah, I have to try to like get these survivors into the correct lobby because they keep joining on me, but I don't have a killer yet. I have to join the killer lobby before these survivors can join me. You're too quick. They're too quick. They're joining me again.
They're eager. They're like, get me in there, coach. Let's do this. Put me in. Let's play this game. I love to see that everyone is very eager to get this match started. While we're setting this all up, what do you think we're going to see today, killer-wise? We've been making some predictions the entire way along. What do you want to see today?
I think you know the answer to that question of what I want to see. I want to see.
I have to ask. I want to hear you say it.
I want to see the demo pupper.
Demo puppy. And this is a reminder, you guys, if you don't have Demogorgon or the survivors from the Stranger Things chapter, this is going to be your last chance to grab them. Of course, the perks will still be available as general perks in the Blood Web, so they already have actually started popping up in the Blood Web for both Killer and Survivor. But if you want the characters, you want that sweet Scoops Ahoy Steve, you want to be able to utilize Demogorgon's portaling powers, make sure you guys grab that before it's too late. We hate to have regrets in life, you know?
And it's almost too late, by the way. Monday's the day. It's almost too late.
Almost.
So for sure, everybody go get it like now. If you're on the computer right now, also a great site to get it on, CD Keys. You can get it for cheap, but it's also on sale on Steam, on PlayStation, on Xbox. Go pick it up. If you don't have it, get it. But for sure, let me go ahead and send the invite out to our survivors here. Go ahead, get our lobby set. And I really hope to see a demo pupper. I don't know that we'll see a demo pupper, but it should be interesting whoever we see. I think let's review what map we're going to first before we really speculate too hard. Let's let everyone know what map we're going to.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see where we're going.
All right, guys, so today we are going to Blood Lodge, and it is an average size map with the 8 hook minimum, 13 hook maximum. You can see the shape of the map there as well. Pretty regular shaped. So definitely excellent map for survivors, really. I find this to be more of a survivor sided map. I feel like the Blood Lodge itself is easy to run as Survivor to try to get away from the killer. And then I feel like the cars provide enough structure for you to have some areas to loop pretty easily. So
Absolutely.
I think you see more ranged killers here trying to attack across some of those obstacles in the center, rather than anything else. So I expect like a Huntress.
Yeah, and I mean, we have been seeing a lot of requests for a Huntress, so this might be the day, guys. This might be the game where we get our Huntress.
Yeah,
this is a good map for her.
We still haven't seen a Huntress today, even though Huntress and Demo we've been asking for all day, and nobody will give it to us. Kind of sad.
Well, maybe Wrecking Crew or Corrupt will be the ones to deliver that for us. We'll have to wait and see.
I sure
But
hope
yeah,
so.
definitely. I think either one of them would be a really great choice here. It's not a huge map, but Demogorgon's portals will still it'll turn that map into a postage stamp for him. And Huntress, again, she can make quick work of the distance with those hatchets. And it'll help her against those long not like walls, because it's not the other Auto Haven. But you know, those like where it's like the two cars in the pallet area, that can be really hard for a killer to deal with. And Huntress can just shut that down because she's like, all right, yeet.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like Demo is fine. Demo is fine on smaller maps, personally. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times what I end up using the portals for is more get that undetectable status, you know? So you like, because you have that for a few seconds after traversing a portal. So even if you're traversing like right to where it would take you the same amount of time to walk there, a lot of survivors don't expect you to take a portal to where you could walk. So then you take a portal there, and then they start like walking around, and you're behind them, and you go ahead and you smack them, and now you've got more area to just chase them down there. They've kind of been caught off guard, maybe weren't prepared to try to take chase from where they were as fast as it happened, and you have a pretty good advantage to try to cause some snowball.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. A lot of things you can do with that undetectable. And even though Demogorgon, he's got some pretty heavy feet there, I have noticed when he portals, a lot of survivors just don't catch him behind them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a surprise, like a puppy surprise.
Ooh, I like that. Puppy surprise.
Yeah. Like when you get a puppy for Christmas, but like probably not as fun.
More deadly.
For you.
Deadly puppy. Mm-hmm.
Fun for the puppy still. Always fun for the puppy.
I mean, puppy, like new person, love new person. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Funny stuff going on with my lights here. They decided to just change color out of nowhere. So happy day. But chat, who do you want to see for sure for killer here? I'm wondering. I gotta know.
Yeah. You know, I have a feeling chat's gonna ask for that Huntress. I don't know. They were asking for Plague, and we did get Plague though, so persistence pays off. Keep asking, guys.
That's true, because definitely the way that these teams have been reacting so far, if chat asks for it, chat gets it. But if you and I asked for it, no.
We don't get it. Yeah.
No.
I'm never gonna see a ghost face. Never.
No.
Makes my heart very
Or a
sad.
Myers.
Or Myers. I will also not see a Myers. I will also not see a Myers. Very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
No.
Sometimes we have to accept that life has given us the short stick. That's what I get. That's what I get for having those be my favorite killers.
Yeah, sometimes. But definitely, I'm wondering who we see, and I think maybe because of how strong Corrupt is as a survivor squad, maybe we see an S tier come out early.
Maybe this would be a team to bring a strong killer out of. I did see somebody say Bubba in chat.
Oh my gosh, somebody says Bubba. Oh
Hey,
no.
Bubba in the right hands. This is a dangerous map.
On Blood Lodge, though, I don't know about Bubba on Blood Lodge. If this was like Wrecker's Yard or something, totally.
You know what though? On Blood Lodge, I feel like there are a lot of open spaces without lockers. And once you can shoot through those pallets, if you don't tantrum and you bring the duration add-ons, that can be really deadly if you're a good Bubba. This that little squibbly area in the middle, this little squibbly bit in the middle. Once you get rid of those pallets, that can be really dangerous.
That's true. And I gotta shout out, looks like we just got rated by Champions of the Fog with a party of 37. That's amazing. Thank you guys. We definitely appreciate you over there in the fog. And so for sure, right now we have Corrupt versus Wrecking Crew, and so we are just getting ready to start the first trial. So you guys have joined at a perfect time to be able to see how this matchup goes.
Yep, good timing, good timing. We are getting ready to start pretty shortly here. It looks like our survivors are all ready for the most part.
Yeah, it looks like our survivors are asking if the map is set, but I believe it is, so I think we are good to go. I am already in our spectator role for sure, and we do see that final survivor going ahead and readying up. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here.
And I'm very excited to see what we bring out today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think an S tier is in order for as strong of a survivor group as Corrupt is. But we're going ahead, we're loading in. We're seeing all the offerings that we do need to see, so that is perfect. Let's go ahead and review the killer rules, see how we can get those lovely points for Wrecking Crew. So of course, guys, killers are scoring through those hooks, those first and second hooks being worth 2 points each, that third hook being worth 3 points, progressions being worth 1 point less than a regular hook. And if you are a slug god and get that 7th and 8th progression, those award 1 point each. And if you do manage to get a 4K, we will reward you with an extra 2 points. An entity kill, such as an endgame collapse, equals the corresponding hook plus progressions, whereas if you Mori via Rancor or Devour Hope, that is just the corresponding hook without progressions. And a bleed out is equal to 0 points, leaving 30 available points on the table. For more on these rules, type !rules in the chat.
Here we are getting ready to load into our first game of the match.
Yeah, for sure. And just waiting on this load screen for a little bit, but you can't help but wonder how these survivors are going to utilize just the RNG of the map. Are we going to see more Blood Lodge play, or are we going to see a lot of play in that midsection or around the buses? And we are seeing a Spirit.
Yes, the Spirit has come out to play, looking for our survivors here and finding someone pretty quickly off the bat. We're going to enter into a chase here and immediately begin phasing to try to get that speed boost to catch up to them at this pallet.
Yeah, and with the directional phase being updated, I think we are seeing that survivor knowing that they were sitting in the pallet and playing that just like you need to. So for sure, Corrupt showing that this Spirit change is significant versus them as a team. Ooh, getting the stun!
Unfortunately, does get stunned there. The swing didn't come at quite the right time, but it was a good attempt. But we will get the hit and draw first blood at this next pallet here.
Yeah, and we do see what looks to be a Tinkerer proc, so for sure, pretty interesting to see on the Spirit. Tinkerer Spirit here.
Absolutely. And then we also see that she might have lost that first survivor, but she has definitely found another one, an Ace here. Chasing him through this jungle gym, I feel like she's trying to maybe use, there's another proc Tinkerer. I feel like she's trying to use the directional phasing to her advantage here.
Yeah, but let me go ahead and talk about something real quick. we've seen 3 Tinkerer procs. The first gen just popped, but do you notice how there's no sparks? We don't have Ruin here, folks. So the electing not to kick means that they won't reproc Tinkerer when a survivor gets back on it. And that's a lot of gens to have a lot of progress with no kicks. I'm definitely a little worried about that if I'm the Spirit.
Although I will say we did see Deadlock come into play there. And the Spirit will get her first down here against Mikaela, with with 2 gens down.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
smart move by our Spirit not walking through that pallet with Mikaela on her shoulder here.
I agree, because we did see the Ace there, and so definitely have to worry about what Ace is going to decide to do. If Ace had dropped that pallet and saved their friend, that would have been horrible.
Absolutely, and we see the unhook here on Mikaela. Spirit coming back to check out who's been messing with her hooked survivors. And using her very good listening ears to stay on top of that Mikaela and get a hit. Unfortunately, chewing through that BT, so she will not get that immediate down here.
Yeah, and for sure, I feel like that's something that Spirit, you gotta do your count a little bit, count to 13, and then take your swing. But for sure, we do get the Spirit is pursuing and still trying to put a good amount of pressure down. We see that gen where Mikaela was hooked is where the Deadlock is, so we know that has the most progress on it. We haven't seen Tinkerer proc on it yet, so we are probably looking at that still not being at 70% yet. Ooh, what a body block, though.
What a body block there. Very good body block to kind of try to get this Mikaela out of the danger zone. Unfortunately, only buys her a little bit of space, but we're at one of those setups that we were talking about earlier where it's those long, that long wall with the cars and the pilot.
Definitely, and the Spirit is going across here and trying to find the other survivors. Hopefully, finding another one here, finding Mikaela again, getting the down. Amazing.
Absolutely, and that will be Mikaela's second hook here. And she did manage to injure 2 others, although I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them there. They go resetting right there. They did put a lot into trying to ensure that Mikaela did not go down. Hopefully they had their other survivor working on generators here, which it looks like they did, as Tinker has procced once again.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see, was that a sprint burst from the Ace, maybe?
I think that was a sprint burst from the Ace, potentially, because that looked like a very speedy getaway there.
For sure. And we did also see, that was Pop Goes the Weasel right there. Only had really 2 opportunities to be able to use it. That's the first time we've used it here, though. Our Spirit is definitely looking to get more pressure by getting more downs here. And I think we're about to see another one here.
And down goes Elodie through that window, but not quite far enough. And Tinkerer will proc again on that generator. Looks like our Spirit is going to leave Elodie down for just a moment while she checks out what's going on with Mikaela over here on second hook still.
Yeah, and honestly, the gen that is closest to popping, that would break a potential 3 gen, because right now near this shack, yep, there it is, broken.
There goes that 3 gen.
I think here you gotta go ahead and hook.
Yeah, I would be careful if I were the Spirit here. We don't know if our down survivor here has Unbreakable, but it looks like we are going to pursue David as he tries to save Mikaela from certain death if this goes poorly. And avoiding the firecracker blind and getting the grab on David here. Elodie does get picked up. But it looks like our Spirit is going to sit here and wait for Mikaela to die before picking David up to take him to a hook.
That was a crazy play. Vercon thought he had the blind and ended up getting just grabbed. I'm still almost speechless, honestly.
Absolutely snapped.
That was a really heads up play by the Spirit.
Absolutely. Good patience on her part to kind of wait for that. And we also see here we found the injured Ace pretty immediately. So not too bad on her part. David does seem to have deliverance, though, as you can see the broken status is applied there and he has been unhooked, but Elodie's over here.
Yeah, definitely. And Elodie going ahead and taking her hit and trying to take her leave. We'll see if she's able to get a lot of distance. Right now, with Spirit, the way that she's moving right now, it would be tough to get away, I feel.
Absolutely, and she goes straight into that phase. Unfortunately, draws up a little short, bounces her sword off of the chair instead. But still, she has closed quite a considerable amount of distance between her and this Elodie. But here we are at another set of kind of awkwardly long areas to try to loop as a killer. With this pallet down, she might have to break it if she wants to be able to gain any headway here. Oh, but a beautiful read on this Elodie. Using that directional phasing to maybe disorient her a little bit and catching her vaulting that pallet there.
Yeah, and I've got to say here, I see that the Spirit is more worried about these survivors on this gen. But if she had hooked and then gone over to pressure off, I think she actually has more value because she'd be able to delay its popping a little bit more.
Absolutely, but she does have 2 survivors down here, and unless Elodie has been recovering and Vercon can get to her quickly, I think this is going to be 2 hooks.
Yeah, and we do see Vercon getting hit here. Interesting to see, does he get the pickup? He's got to be running to, pick up the Elodie. I think he ends up going down.
No, It looks like our Spirit's going to commit to Elodie here, get her back on the ground. But she does know where both of them are. They are both injured, so I don't know if either one of them would be a bad choice for her at this moment.
No, for sure. And we see that Vercon has fooled her with his scratch marks, and this is the smart move right here. Go apply pop to the gen that has the most progress. You have Tinkerers, so you'll know if they progress the other ones. And coming back to make sure, maybe trying to get another grab on Vercon, right?
I think so. Or she is at least trying to ensure that Ace will go to second stage here, knowing that at one point both survivors were injured, and wanting to see if maybe she can wait that out while they try to heal. God Pallet has gone down, fallen victim to David's hands, but Ace will still go to second stage despite David's best efforts.
And it looks like our Spirit is going to try to count this time. Gonna go ahead and phase. We'll see if the swing comes early. Oh, instead getting a spicy grab.
Oh, spicy Spirit play here. She timed that very nicely to just snatch Ace out of that window. That is the second grab we have seen her get today.
That's crazy. I can't believe it.
Very, very, very good for her. We see Tinkerer popping off again in the distance. And unfortunately, David wasn't able to unhook Ace before he hit second stage, so that is actually 2 survivors completely out of this game right now.
Yeah, for sure. And look at the heads up play by the Spirit to see the crow fly up and know, oh, that means the survivor went over here.
Absolutely good map awareness, and she has found the injured Elodie once more. So we're going to use that power to try to come over here and maybe cut her off one more time.
Ooh, and it works. That's going to be a 3K at least. Oh, man. Not
she might want to play it a little greedy here and try to stop that gen from popping. That is a long way to go for our Spirit, though. Even with her phase walk, I don't know if it's really worth it for her to go over there.
No, I think that this still pops. Unless the survivor abandons it completely.
I honestly would play this very safe as well. I wouldn't want my teammate to go up on hook and then for myself to be injured. Despite maybe being able to get the gens done. Because then you still have to try to unhook someone while you're bleeding.
Yeah, I think that 5th gen is worth 3 points. You pop it to at least score the points, then you go for a save. But instead, what we're going to see here is potentially going to see a 4K without scoring those 3 points. I think that could be significant going into trial number 4, especially. Ooh, Vercon with the smart read
yeah,
to
very
double
smart.
back.
I mean, Spirit will take that pallet to the face, but continue her chase of Vercon here. And it looks like not quite able to catch him at those windows, so we're going to use our phase walk to try to close some of that distance between us here.
Yeah, and here comes another pallet.
But not quite. And she expected it that time. Ooh, I think she faked the break there.
Yeah, with her just random idle movements, sometimes you can fake that break. I'm worried about a bleed out at this point, though. Look at
I
Keeper's
am too.
timer.
That is a lot of points to have to lose on a bleed out, especially this early on when you want to try to garner as many points as you can.
For sure. Oh no, this
Oh, but
definitely is
her
4K
hard work
territory.
pays off. Vercon goes down and will go on hook. She might even have time. I don't know if she'll be able to find Keeper, but if she
That's
can, this is full points on a 4K.
honestly, I think I would have left um, Vercon there and pursued Keeper because I don't think you find him by the time he bleeds out here.
I think
Oh,
unfortunately Keeper might be lost here.
I saw a detail that the spirit did not. A crow returned over there, which happens after about like 8 to 12 seconds. So for sure, Keeper crossed by there a while ago. If our spirit had pursued that direction, probably still wouldn't have found. But I think that's the direction that our Keeper went. The killer missed out on a total of 5 points there by not getting the hook there, though. So that is significant.
That is a significant amount of points. And while it is still early game, you really want to be trying to grab as many points as you can through each of your matches, to ensure you don't really have to sweat out your lead.
For sure. But at the same time, a 20-6 lead, you're probably still feeling pretty good right now.
I could imagine that was a very, very good game for Spirit there. But some very good reads on what the survivors were doing. Two really just nasty grabs.
For sure. But now we're going to see Corrupt come into playing 2 matches in a row against the survivors of Wrecking Crew. So of course, killers have the ability to score more points than survivors have the ability to score 26 points total. Killers have the ability to score 30 points total. So for sure, this could be interesting, to say the least, to see if Corrupt just pulls ahead here with the next match.
Absolutely. And I think at this point it could be possible, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. So I hope they're going to meet fire with fire in this next match because they're going to need it.
I would have to agree as well. And who do you think they bring having to answer getting 4K'd like that?
I think they're going to definitely have to bring a higher tier killer at the very least, unless they're super confident in their abilities with who they decide to bring.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, like you said, yeah, gonna have to be somebody you are really confident with. I'm honestly thinking we may get our wish of a Huntress.
I'm thinking that we might also get a wish of the Huntress here, honestly.
And I'm trying to get our survivors in here. Survivors have been invited, but not seeing them join quite yet. Send them another invite here, just another ping. But for sure, really interesting first matchup, honestly.
Absolutely. Some very good plays, even from both sides, really. We saw some really nice body blocks there trying to buy some time for their friend, and they still managed to pop a generator and all of that. They had their 4th survivor working on generators while 2 were trying to protect the Michaela. And of course we've talked about those grabs from our spirit, just some very, very patient gameplay on her part. As well as I like a little bit of manipulating that directional phasing in her favor, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it just shows kind of the strength of these survivors, right? To go ahead and have that much pressure on the killer. I mean, I felt like Spirit was feeling the pressure for sure from those survivors. Tough to play when you know that the survivors are taking any pressure you're trying to give, and instead trying to push it back. But Spirit honestly did really well to like rein that in and make them all go down with one gen left. I thought that the survivors were going to get multiple people out, and didn't happen.
Yeah, I was definitely a little worried there for our Spirit in the beginning, but I mean she really pulled through. And you know, I've heard it said many times that your most important gens are the last two. And I think she really showed that, like, she wasn't sweating those generators flying in the beginning like that.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see. It looks like we do have one of the survivors joining now. So for sure, it looks like this lobby is starting to get set up. And I think if you are corrupt here, do you feel any concern with where the score is at right now, or are you still just as composed, level-headed? Like, well, it's okay. We'll come out here. We've got 2 killer games. We'll be fine.
You know, I feel like for corrupt, either way they're going to want to keep a cool head, because this game, they can still come back from this as long as they keep their wits about them and they play as smartly as they can.
Fair assessment for sure. I think if I'm in Verkon's shoes right now, as Verkon will be our killer here, I am determined to go ahead and try to get the 4K here and try to get it early. I wouldn't say that I am worried necessarily, because you do have 2 killer games to try to like get that lead back. So if you don't get the 4K, you're not super upset about it. But you are trying to get like at least a 3K here. A 2K results in you probably having the same point spread unless you get just a lot of hooks.
Absolutely. And I think knowing these teams, just as comp teams in general, I'm not very familiar with anyone individually, but seeing how this game is going and knowing just the level of competitiveness in this tourney, I'm going to assume they're going to come out swinging hard to gain as many points as they can. No matter how they're feeling, I think the goal is to gain as many points as possible, no matter where they stand.
I would have to agree, and definitely in a league like this, the way that the way that they play in this matchup is going to make future teams they play against look back at this. So if they make a lot of mistakes, a lot of other teams may see that as opportunity to make mistakes versus them in future matchups.
You know, sometimes I wonder, is it all a red herring? Is this not a match they're concerned about, so they're okay to play a little more lax and maybe not show their full hand?
You know, that is...
I don't know. Sometimes it feels like comp gameplay is like 4D chess, and I'm playing checkers. So I try to really be thorough about, like, well, I don't know. Maybe there's another point of view that I'm not thinking about here.
For sure. I think that when these guys are thinking about it, they want to have the best record that they possibly can, because really anybody could clinch one of those 6 spots to go to the playoffs. So I want to see them. I want to see them try to take this one handedly and try to make other people put them on their radar, right? But at the same time, I think to your point as well, don't show too much, because if you do get a target on your back, then it might be harder for you down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is only week 1, so that's 11 more weeks for other teams to figure you out.
That is very true. And especially
and
this
early,
team, you're going to play this team again.
Yeah. As they are divisional rivals, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And within this league, you play your division, you play everybody in your division twice, and you play everybody in your conference once. And then there are a couple non-conference matchups where you go versus somebody that would be on the other side of the bracket.
Just kind of wild card games.
Mm-hmm. And we do see all of the offerings we are supposed to see. And Shep, do you want to go ahead and take away the Survivor rules?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at how our survivors can garner some points here. So, of course, in any matchup, it is important to get those gens done. So the first and second gen are worth 1 point each, the third and fourth are worth 2 points each, and that fifth gen is worth 3 points each. However, all of your important points are going to come from escaping. Your first escape is worth 1 point, and your second escape is worth 2 points. But your third escape is worth 4 points, and that fourth escape is going to be worth a whopping 6 points. If you escape with 2 or more hook states remaining, you gain an additional point per survivor who escapes with extra hook points on the table. There are a total of 26 points available for the survivors to earn here. And for more on our rules, feel free to check out !rules in chat.
And we are just about set to go. We are still loading into the match here, but it's going to be real interesting to see like if Corrupt like goes ahead and takes the lead with this match, or if Corrupt can make any headway on the lead. If the survivors can perform really well, then we may see Corrupt shut out of a fourth trial. That would be crazy to see. As I would say right now, Corrupt was my favored to win here, but we may see something different happen.
It would be wild to see an upset this early.
And I don't know if you see what I see, but this is a nurse. This is no holds barred. Like, you're bringing a nurse week
brawl.
1? Ooh.
This is a showing of either confidence or foolhardiness on this team here to bring out Nurse so early. But I mean, I think it shows that they might be taking this pretty seriously.
Definitely. I think to bring Nurse out this early in the season, it does kind of show like, hey, we need this right now. We need to make sure that we are in position to get this win, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out for them.
Our nurse here is blinking around, looking for that first survivor, not quite finding anyone yet, but seeing gens that have been worked on. However, we do find our first survivor and draw first blood here, as we find Yui hiding in this back corner. And Vercon blinking towards to keep this chase going towards Shaq, which could be, I don't know, maybe a basement play early on.
It definitely could be. I like the whole too short blink too. And oh, what a dead hard. And we see a totem fall too.
Dead hard. That is unfortunately a totem going down as Yui dead hards away from certain death. But Vercon is hot on her tail and gets the down anyways. So that is going to be our first down before our first generator is done.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, that totem that fell, that was our Ruin. So Ruin's out of the game really early.
That is pretty unfortunate for Ruin to be gone that early. However, we've gotten our first hook, no gen done, and she's found another survivor here. Oh, she got the bug where she couldn't kick it from the side she was on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've gotten that on this map pretty consistently recently, but able to kick it from a different side, so not too big of a deal. And we did notice that she had Pop Goes the Weasel, so that is going to bode well for the nurse as the Ruin has been taken out so early.
Absolutely. Pop Goes the Weasel is always a good insurance policy to bring just in case you lose that Ruin, especially this early in the game. And we see our nurse kind of making sure that this survivor is probably going to go to second state, which means a generator will pop for our survivors, but I don't know if Vercon's sweating it too much.
I don't think so right now. Vercon's more worried about these two center gens here, and on this map, yeah, that kind of is the concentration point, I think, for the survivors too, is getting one of those two center gens out of the way.
Absolutely, and now that we have confirmed that second state hook, we are going to blink to a survivor coming in to try to get the save, I think. chasing after Claudette here and downing her pretty quickly while we still have a survivor on the hook. And we find even more scratch marks, and we're going to follow that blood trail, I guess. I don't know what scratch marks really are, but close enough.
You know, interestingly enough, like, you had the person who has Dead Hard on hook. Oh no, they didn't use Dead Hard, so they're going back on Death Hook now. But interestingly enough, that actually is bad for the survivors, because now the nurse can blink at you twice with no worry of getting Dead Hard hit validation.
Absolutely, that is Dead Hard out of the way, and unfortunately, our first survivor dead with 4 generators left. This is going to be a hard match to a hard point to recover from for our survivors here.
Yeah, I would agree, and for sure. Oh, a double back, but that's a single blink. Oh no! But the fatigue.
And a successful blind with the firecrackers from the fatigue.
100%.
Vercon shaking it off and going to check on this generator being worked on behind him. Scaring that survivor off before continuing his chase with our injured ace over here.
Oh, Shep, how did you feel about that play? That was such a heads up play from the survivor to drop when they did, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm reeling about that. Just like, oh, you're gonna short blink me? Then get blinded, nurse.
Yeah, definitely a clever use of the firecracker there, and unfortunately not quite enough to save Ace from going on the hook for his first hook stay, but that is another generator done for our survivors.
Yeah, indeed. And I think if you're nurse, you know she's got Pop Goes the Weasel and hasn't used it yet. So I think you got to use it on this generator right here. And yep, we do see it happen here. So definitely going to take that down by 25%. Kind of looks like maybe trying to proxy that hook at least a little bit. Don't want anybody going over there, it would seem.
Definitely trying to ensure that second hook stay, but not quite making it over to the hook, and our survivors taking advantage of the fatigue to pull Ace down.
Oh,
and very patient from our Ace. He just kind of stood still and was like, all right, blink through me.
Yeah, that was definitely kind of interesting. You know what, though? By the nurse missing, I think she waited out any sort of borrowed time that could have been there.
Unfortunately, doesn't wait out the decisive strike. Ace will come on down off that shoulder, forcing Vercon to chase him just a little bit longer.
What a good play as well. They go ahead, have the decisive strike, and awesome to see that we're not missing our decisive strikes, right?
Absolutely. And that is 2 gens for the price of a down and a DSU, so not bad for our survivors here. They're not taking that early loss of one of their teammates too harshly, it seems.
Yeah, for sure. And we are seeing we're seeing these survivors definitely have a lot of pressure on the gens, but this is a nurse, don't forget. So this is not outside of what she can bring back into her power.
Absolutely, especially if she can get another down here and force 2 survivors on the hooks at the same time. It's going to force somebody to make a choice that is going to expose them and make it very easy for her to get them back down on the ground.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you really want to see Yo, humble yourself. Go ahead and heal up here. This nurse is going to go ahead and take advantage of that given the opportunity.
Absolutely, and chasing after our injured survivor here, who I believe is on Death Hook, so not a bad decision. And you know DS is off the table at this point.
Yeah. And looks like he's gonna actually run along this 4-wall in the best way possible. Ooh, expecting the double back, but not expecting to go off at an angle.
Absolutely, and our survivor here bringing the nurse kind of back into this corner away from the other generators, hopefully pulling some pressure away from his teammates.
Yeah, like it's smart heads up play. You can see over there is sort of a loose 3-gen super loose, but did you see the haste, and did you see what popped up there in that corner? There's a no-ed.
I do see our nurse floating a little faster than normal. That would be a no-ed. And I don't know, can she get this door open before nurse blinks over? She cannot, and she will go down. Which is unfortunate for our survivors because it looks like, unless there's a sick unbreakable play to happen here, this is going to be a 4K for Vercon.
Yeah, and you know what's even crazier is he can go ahead and wait out. It looks like he's checking to make sure no deliverance. He knows there's no deliverance at this point. I would go ahead and leave him because they've proven they don't have deliverance. Go get Yo Humble yourself. But looks like he's going to confirm.
I have seen some people get some really lucky 4%, so I don't really blame Vercon for just kind of wanting to like double check a little bit.
And that is true because that gate is like 66%. So
yeah. If Vercon leaves this and Nancy is unable to 4% herself off that hook, she will get out of that door. So smart for Vercon to kind of sit and make sure, like, yeah, you're not going to get out of this. And then he's got plenty of time to go and try to find our last down survivor before they bleed out.
For sure. And looks like he was trying to listen there for a minute. Trying to figure out where she is.
And unless our survivor gets really lucky and finds the hatch, I mean, Vercon has a little bit of time to kind of look around.
And with being a high mobility killer like Nurse, it doesn't bode well for the survivor.
Although, you know, if you can't find her, it doesn't really bode well for anyone, and we're gonna, I think, end up with a pretty close score.
Yeah, right now, Corrupt is in need of those points, sitting at 24-29. And remember, let's keep in mind, the hatch play.
And we did get a hatch escape, which will keep Wrecking Crew in the lead here.
It will indeed. And they were going to be in the lead even if a bleed out happened because they were able to finish all the gens. Remember, Vercon elected not to finish the gen to try to run away from it and missed out on points.
Absolutely, yeah. It goes to show that every bit of points is very important when it comes to these games, you guys. Definitely seeing the aftermath of not pursuing everything you can get here.
Yeah, what a matchup, though. Like, absolutely. Oh my gosh, bringing Nurse like that and able to down everybody while exit gates are powered due to that no-ed, that's amazing. Like, you had such a good match, and it's still such a close matchup, right? Like I said, you wanted to get a 4K, but a 3K is okay, and I think we're proving that with it's a 24-30 game, and Corrupt is killer again. In fact, I think Vercon is killing again.
Yeah. I do believe that is what is happening here, but I mean, a good game from Vercon, a good showing, so I think he's proven that he might not be too worried about this. He's got every chance to bring this game into the winning side for Corrupt.
Do you think we see another S tier, though?
You know, I don't know. This early on, it's really risky. But they might need to play a little risky unless they are okay taking a loss here. Potentially taking a loss here.
Yeah, definitely. It's close, right? And you know how Wrecking Crew performed versus Corrupt survivors. So how much are you what's it looks like Handjum's trying to be killer right now, but Vercon's killing. It looks like we have some confusion in the chat. Confusion in the game here.
Hopefully they are able to sort that out. While we're waiting for them to figure out who's going to be killing for sure, who are you hoping to see here, or who are you expecting to see with the game as closely scored as it is?
For sure, I'm excited to see. I think Vercon. What would Vercon bring? What would Vercon? I don't know. I feel like a plague could be nice. Actually, we might see another plague.
A plague could be nice here. While we stew on that, though, why don't we take another look at our map, and maybe that'll help us get some clues on who might be best for Corrupt to bring here.
I think that's a pretty good idea. You want to take it away, talk about the map a little bit?
Absolutely. Let's talk about it. All right, so once again, our map is going to be Blood Lodge, one of our Auto Haven Wreckers maps. There is an 8-hook minimum and a 13-hook maximum, my bad, and is Corrupt's home map, so they should be very comfortable with this map.
Yeah, definitely with it being kind of that average size map. It's not a lot bigger, it's not a lot smaller. It's kind of what we're used to with a lot of them, with a lot of the maps. So I think that we really do have quite a good opportunity for lots of killers to come out and do well on this map. Definitely, as we saw there are a lot of those low obstacles, which with those low obstacles, I think a ranged killer such as, Plague technically counts as a ranged killer. So like a ranged killer like Plague, Huntress, Deathslinger could do well because they can go ahead and hit you over those objects.
So, actually, who I'm kind of thinking we might see here? Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head.
I don't know if that would be like a great choice at this moment in time, but if you have a really good Pyramid Head, I think Pyramid Head could do well on this map.
I actually think that's a good pick. Pyramid Head could be good. I also think Nemesis on this map could be good, as long as your zombies aren't just stupid, like what happened to us.
I believe most of the obstacles on this map, if I'm not mistaken, are actually low enough for Nemesis to hit his tentacle over.
Yeah. And that's why I was thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And kind of like the opposite with Pyramid Head, his ranged attacks will go underneath everything.
Mm-hmm.
So those long loops where you have the two cars and the pallet, he can just shoot underneath that. And if he's brought range add-ons, his hits will make it. He just has to time it properly.
Yeah. I think you might be onto something for sure.
I definitely think if they don't want to bring another S tier killer out right at this moment, a ranged killer or even Nemesis or Pyramid Head would probably be a really safe pick here.
Yeah, it definitely could be pretty safe. Should be interesting to see how these survivors react to getting 4K'd there, but able to hold on to their lead regardless.
Absolutely. And I just saw someone say Thana Ruin Legion, and like, I'm with it. But I'm also a Legion main, so I'm a little biased.
Oh man, imagine Thana Ruin Legion. My goodness. I believe Vercon is actually a Legion player as well, so I wouldn't say it's completely...
I mean, it would be a ballsy pick at this point, but I think if we've seen anything, we've seen that none of our teams are really afraid to make some really wild picks.
Mm-hmm. I think that you return with another S tier, or you return with another high A tier or S, because you brought an S tier, and yeah, you got the 4K, but it didn't get you the lead.
Well, and it technically wasn't even a proper. I mean, it was a 4K, but it was a bleed
out.
It was a 1.
It was a 3K. I've been saying 4K, but they got the hatch. It wasn't a 4K. Right, never mind.
The last one was a hatch. I'm so sorry. That last one was a hatch. Yeah, it was a 3K with a hatch escape.
So yeah, not a 4K. You only got a 3K. You got the slug, but slug got out.
Yeah, the slug did get out. Sorry, these games are so close that it's almost hard to keep track of what's going on here.
It is a little bit,
because honestly. They're playing so evenly across both teams right now.
And that just goes to show the parity of both the teams here, and for sure we should be ready to go here soon. I'm waiting on confirmation real quick, but I think we're good to go.
Very excited to see whatever ends up being played. I'm sure will be a good match either way. Both of these teams have shown that they are here to win their match. So at this point, I think it really is anyone's game.
For sure. I've got Verkon's over here begging me to switch. He is so ready. We've got an antsy killer here for sure. He is saying he swears to everything that is sacred. He needs me to move. He needs this match to start. So for sure, I love to see that he's so anxious for the match to start.
Absolutely. And luckily for him, it looks like his survivors are also ready.
Oh yeah, we are ready to get into this match, and I think after we get these offerings set, I think we are going to go ahead and go over some ban rules next.
Yes, the very important ban rules that we need to keep an eye out for, because penalties and lost points at this point in the game could be pretty bad for one of our teams.
With only a 7-point spread between the teams, oh yeah, nobody wants a penalty.
Oh yeah, you really don't want to lose points here to a penalty. But what are those penalties, Vader?
You know, well, we first have to start off with we can only have yellow items and add-ons for our survivors there. Only one of each perk is allowed, besides BT. You can have 2 of those. And then don't ever bring one of these banned perks. The following perks are banned: Built to Last, Prove Thyself, Starstruck, Haunted Ground, Lethal Pursuer, any of the boons, and Clairvoyance. So those are no perks. Don't bring them. Those killer uses are limited to twice a season, so definitely we've already seen a Nurse here. Nurse will only be able to make an appearance one more time all season, and those survivors can only have one of each survivor per team there, so you can't have 4 Dwights in one locker. Sorry, 4 Dwights, one locker. For more information on these rules, ! Rules in chat.
I really do appreciate our game helping build up that anticipation as we wait to load in. Thank you, Dead by Daylight, for being on our side here.
For sure. Yeah, it's not giving us the same issues we had last match, right? And thank goodness, right?
Thankfully. I think any more delay and Verkon might lose it. So.
Oh man. You know, last matchup with Outlaws, I thought you were gonna lose it when we had the lobby crash 3 times, but you know, now Verkon doesn't even have crashing lobbies, and he was gonna lose it. Oh man. Antsy.
We love the eagerness. We love the eagerness to play.
Oh yeah, for sure. We do love it. It's all good. And so, for sure, this was a surprise to me. We're seeing a doctor?
Ooh, doctor isn't someone that I think we considered, but I feel like this might be a pretty safe bet. Lots of information to get out. This map isn't super large, so you can definitely take advantage of the information you get from your static blast here, like Verkon is going to do, immediately finding his first survivor from that information off in this corner.
Yeah, and for sure, going ahead and finding not 1 but 2 survivors here.
2 survivors. We're gonna start applying that madness here, chasing down our Mikaela. And definitely using that static shock to slow her down and get that first hit in. He has drawn first blood here with our Mikaela.
Oh, totem falling in the distance though. Hadn't seen what that totem really was yet, so I can confirm though, it looks like that was indeed our Ruin.
Unfortunately, it seems like Ruin has gone very fast. I think last game as well. So Wrecking Crew definitely we don't like any of these bones here at all, but that is our first down of the game at 5 gens. Verkon will be hooking our Mikaela here on this hill and will be static blasting again to find his next quarry.
Oh man, this survivor was almost done and just got pushed off of it. And what do we see? A little pop goes the weasel.
Pop goes the weasel. Absolutely. Unfortunately, pushing her off of there, taking that generator progress down, and coming to check on her hook and seeing a couple of scratch marks here.
For sure. And we do see the scratch marks going all the way off in the distance into the corrupt zone. But of course, Doctor is more worried about if a survivor tries to go back on that other gen.
And it looks like we will see a gen pop off in the distance. Not the one that we had seen popped, though, on the one on the other side of the map instead being done. And we see a survivor coming in potentially to try to get the unhook, but being caught by Doctor, calling it off. Maybe trying to draw his attention elsewhere, but Verkon's not falling for it.
Yeah, Verkon instead will go ahead and try to push him into Madness 3, which, I mean, is definitely, I think, one of the better strats there. Make sure that he can't, he can't go start progress on a gen or anything if he's going to stand there.
Absolutely, and we do find, even though that generator gets finished, we find the survivor who was working on it, and she is in Madness 3 right now. Misses that window vault thanks to the static applied by our Doctor here.
Yeah, and we're going to see, it looked like Yui jumped off actually chasing our Doctor a little bit there.
Absolutely, I think so. And I didn't see for sure if Michaela was saved before second stage or not, but I don't think she was, so this could be really bad for her.
Yeah, she was not saved before she went second stage, I can confirm.
Yeah, so this, if she gets caught here, that's gonna be her out pretty early. Which will leave Wrecking Crew once again dealing with a couple of gens with one less survivor.
Yeah, but look at the
Michaela
way she's
doing well
using
to hold
this.
her own, yeah. Doing very well to make sure she's making it to that pallet in time to still get the vault even through the shock.
It's interesting to see Doctor not breaking these pallets.
It is very interesting to see Doc not breaking these pallets. Although it is a good way to kind of trap someone against them if she can't vault over it with a well-placed shock and you can trap her in there. Unfortunately, another gen does pop, so to our survivors, they've gotten 3 done so far and only have 2 more to worry about, even as one of their teammates will unfortunately go on her death hook.
Which does deny the survivors 6 points, so that is significant, but unless you can go ahead and pressure more gens, there's only 1 gen left needed right now, and you don't have a 3 gen. This is not good for our killer.
Absolutely, this could be really rough, and we do find our survivor here, and we will get her down as she was injured already, and that will be another hook for Verkon here.
And yeah, Yo Humble Yourself is actually, I mean, this is going to be their first hook, but you got to wonder, do they have Deli? Why did they run near the Doctor instead of respecting terror radius?
Very interesting choice, and we'll just have to watch and see what comes of this. Luckily for our survivors, they didn't put themselves into a 3-gen situation, which against the Doctor is absolutely deadly. And Verkon playing the mind game here and smacking Ace as he slides across that pallet.
Yeah, and definitely for our Ace here, it looks like he's going for the save. Interesting to go for save right now here in this position.
Probably not the smartest play against a Doctor, but I've seen riskier plays be made, but I don't know if this is going to work out for our Ace here. Ooh, straight into the locker, but down he will go anyways, which is rather unfortunate for Claudette here.
Yeah, but I don't think you shock anybody here, as we do see, because I think Claudette is actually over finishing a gen here soon.
Yeah, and I do believe Yui has cleared off of that gen on the other side of the map, as Claudette goes to second stage. And I mean, a smart play on her part, because we're gonna see our survivor here go down into the basement, and against the Doctor, it's really unsafe to try to unhook in front of him.
Yeah, and you know, we're seeing something familiar again. We're seeing...
It does look like we are once again seeing Noed come into play as Doctor picks up the pace just a little bit as that last generator pops.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw scratch marks going to that door, but Doctor not worried about that for whatever reason.
I think he wants to ensure that he gets those two hooks, and he does have a pretty good position on this hill to kind of watch those doors and see what's going on with the lights, and still ensure that nothing is attempted on those survivors on those hooks.
For sure. This is actually, I didn't realize that he had eyesight on both doors from that hook, or from that hill. That was super significant, and I think it looks like I would go back to that hill, honestly.
I would too, unless you're worried about a hatch play, which could happen here.
Well, not this
Or no,
time.
she does get the door open. She does get the door open and escape, so that is a 1 out for Wrecking Crew here.
Good play by Wrecking Crew to go ahead and get that out.
Absolutely. Good on her for making that decision to just take the out, which will keep Wrecking Crew in the lead, but now it's only by 2 points.
Yeah, definitely. Both those killer matches allowed them to close in on the lead, but Wrecking Crew doing a really good job not giving up enough hooks to give Corrupt the lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, missing out on those hooks with Yui just prevented Corrupt from being able to pull into the lead here, but they closed that gap, and they do have a pretty strong survivor team, so if anyone could pull it back, I think it could be them.
I'd have to agree. So, for sure, the way they played, though, in that first matchup is not the way to do it, unfortunately. So we'll have to see if Wrecking Crew can wreck them.
You know, I am very excited to see how this goes.
I definitely, I said it, and I felt like you contemplated what I said for a second. When I said recommend, I saw your eyes like peer into my soul. Not gonna lie.
I didn't know if I was going to respond to it yet, or if I wanted everyone else to have the opportunity to respond to it.
Right? Yeah.
Without my intervention.
It was definitely a look of, you said that. You said that. Okay.
My brain had to make the connection. Yeah, they're gonna wreck it. Wait. Wrecking Crew.
Yep. Yep. As a crew, they have to wreck it. And right now, they've held the lead through three trials. So this is the one, you know?
However, Corrupt was able to close that distance pretty swiftly. So even though they are still behind, it is only by a 2-point margin at this point.
Yeah, indeed. So I tried to join Hanjum, who is our killer, but he's still in Verkon's lobby. So I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna wait for the invite from Hanjum. And hopefully we have that happen here soon. But guys, this has been super exciting, honestly. Like the way this matchup has gone, and little by little, Corrupt is just poking away at this lead that Wrecking Crew had gotten in the first match. Can they continue and just take it, or will this end up being a Wrecking Crew victory? That would be the second upset of the day. Is that right?
I think so. If Wrecking Crew takes this, I think Corrupt right now is kind of a crowd favorite with a lot of familiar faces. But if Wrecking Crew takes this will be the second update of the second upset. I'm so sorry. The second upset of the night.
That's crazy. And we've seen several.
Are definitely heating up in Vigo's court.
We've seen several almost upsets too. And so, like, the parity of the league definitely is showing, and it's great. It's great to see.
Absolutely. I love that everyone is bringing their A game. Everyone has obviously been training very hard. And it's really showing. I mean, all the hard work you put in, you will get something out of it. And it's definitely showing in all of the games we've seen so far.
Yeah, and I mean we're gonna see it again. Hopefully, no penalties, right? Because penalties could make or break it for sure right here. Like, imagine
Absolutely.
if there was a penalty for not bringing an offering on the killer side. If that happened, if they didn't bring the cut coin, that's a 4-point penalty, and all of a sudden it is a 2-point corrupt lead instead of a 2-point wrecking crew lead, and we're flipping the tables. So for sure, this is really important to make sure you're paying every attention to detail.
Absolutely. With a score like this, it is very important that you garner as many points as you can, and losing points for no reason is going to hurt you either way.
Yeah, it will. And so definitely we want to see good clean gameplay, right? And I think these survivors and this killer definitely are able to give that to us. Haven't had a penalty yet in this match.
Yeah, everyone's really been on top of it. So that's been nice. That's good for them. That they've been paying attention to the rules. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, for sure. We have seen a few penalties like just within the league, but here, no penalties. The last game that we were just playing, no penalties as well. So really good to see that our survivors are going ahead and or well, not just survivors, our teams are making sure that they have everything taken care of.
Absolutely. And what do you think would be a safe play to bring into this final match with our points so closely tied?
They brought Spirit to start. I think with it being so closely tied and you want to guarantee a 3K to make sure that you win this match, I'm bringing an S tier. I'm bringing a Nurse. Like, we saw how well Nurse did that first match. I think you want to clinch the upset, you go ahead and you burn the Nurse.
Absolutely. I think that might just be the safest play here. If you really want to try your hardest to secure that win, you are going to want to bring out your very high tier killers here.
For sure. I don't see any other way that you don't bring a high tier killer. But I mean, like, at the same time, you could bring a twins, you could bring several different killers to try to get that job done. I just think you have to think about bringing an S tier. Now, the other thing you have to think about, though, Verkon is such a good Nurse. Do you not bring the Nurse out of fear of these survivors being well versed against Nurse?
We have seen where some teams have suffered from bringing in a killer that is strong, but that the other team has a lot of experience against. We have seen that unfortunately hurt other teams just this past in our first week. So I don't know if bringing in a Nurse would be the best option for Wrecking Crew here if they want to do their best to win, because you know they have a good Nurse on their team.
For sure, something to watch as all these teams are going and getting set to try to get to the final verdict, right? Like, everybody's trying to rack up the wins to be able to make playoffs and get to that final verdict. We are on the road currently.
Absolutely.
And we're getting started here. This is the final trial. Are you excited? Because I'm excited.
I am very excited to see what comes out of the woodworks here.
And we see everything we need to. So again, no penalties.
Immaculate.
That is just so good. So let's go ahead and review what would happen if we were to have a penalty. So for sure, guys, matches with penalties could be played out. They could be restarted, or sometimes both. And for sure, if you bring two of the same survivor, that's going to result in a 5-point penalty. And it's the same for banned perk or banned add-on. And if there's the wrong map, also -5 points. But we're not going to have any of that here, and we're going to go ahead and go into the match because it's time to get started, and we have an Oni.
Oni-chan, no!
Yeah, indeed. And Oni. And how do you feel about that pick on this map?
You know, I hope they're a good Oni. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
You know, I would have to agree. I think you've got to expect that they're going to pre-drop pallets and just not allow you to get any pressure with any hits or anything. And we are seeing here, good job running around and not even using the pallet yet, just running
Absolutely.
the way you need to. Ooh, giving up some power there.
Very patient. On both sides here, running around that pallet, waiting to get the hit and guaranteeing the hit, but still kind of taking that pallet to the face there. But this does mean that Oni is able to start collecting those blood orbs to charge up that power there.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the survivor going down there, I think that the Oni is content with that. Gonna go ahead and pick up those blood orbs after. Yep, just like that, and may be able to have power with the amount of blood orbs that are left. Oh, doesn't look like, actually.
Quite, but you know, our first hook in the pretty much the beginning of the game is not looking too bad for our killer here.
Especially after a little Pop Goes the Weasel action.
Absolutely, especially after some Pop Goes the Weasel. So we do see the unhook done here successfully, but it looks like Oni's gonna keep on this injured survivor and get her right back down. Looks like we're gonna wait out any potential DS there and go see what's going on elsewhere. But we do see our first generator pop.
Yeah, and I think all Oni was thinking there was let's go ahead and make sure that nobody is on the gens right there, because Oni does have Tinkerer. It looks like, as we see that proc, and the survivors know it as well as they go ahead and try to get out of dodge. Ooh, Oni unable to get where he needed to go.
However, he is in his power, so the big man is coming. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite hug that turn right and will take the pallet to the face. Yeah. You hear this generator to our left, very heavily progressed, coming back to check out if anyone came over to see this hook, what was going on there. And we do see some scratch marks, so we are going to try to use this demon dash to try to get somebody down. Not quite making contact with anyone just yet, but we do see a Vercon, and he will go down to the Kanabo as Hanjum swings and leaves it. I thought the sound of him hitting her was him downing another survivor, and I was like, oh no! But then I realized Elodie's the only female survivor on the map, so he just bumped into her.
My goodness. He spent so much time head nodding there as well that he actually lost out on being able to hook the other survivor. Imagine sometimes you try to go ahead and taunt a little bit, like yes, you're exiting the game, but it actually costs you in the match. Good lesson to those out there.
Absolutely, although not too bad for Oni. We've got our first survivor already out of the game, and 4 generators are still left. So, well, I stand corrected. 3 generators are now left with 3 survivors left on the map. So if they can split up and put some pressure out, you know, they can probably do all right here.
Yeah, and I think our Adam here doing great to go ahead and continue running, drop the pallet, get the stun. Tinkerer in the background. This is exactly what you want to see, chat, if you are the survivors. We are seeing Corrupt try to mount their comeback and finish it off.
Absolutely, and it's not a very big lead here, so Corrupt's going to be pushing hard for this against this Oni here. Entering another chase. We have no injured survivors on the map, so Oni is not able to access his power right now. He cannot collect any blood orbs to charge that for himself. We are going to break that door so we can just run straight through instead of having to go around to continue chasing this ace.
Yeah, and this ace still has a pallet to use right here, and boom, he does get hit, unfortunately. So charging Oni's power just slightly, and Oni will probably rush away as soon as he has enough orbs.
Absolutely. And it looks like he's actually going to keep on chasing here. He does have that Tinkerer proc, so he knows where the other survivors are. But he's going to charge up that power and go after this Adam Francis here at the shack.
Look at
And
the
then going
heads up play,
straight to
though.
that Tinker Gen.
Yeah, the heads
Just-
up play by the survivors to go ahead and stay in the shack right there rather than getting down by it. Ooh, stand corrected. Zafi's going down.
Unfortunately, didn't stay in the shack just long enough. He will go down, and Oni will go back to looking for Vercon over here, making sure he stays away from that generator.
Ooh, and what a move to go ahead and vault right there.
And Oni will get rid of that pallet, so Vercon no longer has that to use as a barrier between him and the Oni. And it looks like Oni will get him down here, and with Ace injured, this is a good time to pick up and start hooking some people.
It's also really dangerous for the survivors as Osaka is the only survivor left still standing up. Oh, stand corrected. Zafi's has stood up.
I don't know if that was an unbreakable play or if that was teamwork on getting one another up there, but it looks like they picked each other up. And we see the deliverance play from Vercon in the back corner. So we have all 3 survivors up when at one point we had 2 slugged.
That's a super heads up play by Vercon and crew to be able to put that pressure down on this killer. Let them think that they have more pressure on you than they really do, and just take it all away. That's one easy way to get in a killer's head.
That is definitely yanking the rug out from underneath their feet, and you've got a couple of survivors over here, all of them bleeding, blood orbs everywhere, allowing Oni to access his demon dash here, which even against injured survivors does give him the speed boost, even if it doesn't give him the insta down potential for a, I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. Vercon will go down once again, still broken from his deliverance, and we are moving on to Adam Francis over here, and he doesn't quite make it through the window. We do have another situation where it is 2 survivors on the ground, and this time we are going to pick up and start putting them on the hooks.
Yeah, that's
And it
definitely...
does look like this will be a basement hook.
That's pretty nuts, because that means that Corrupt really is on notice here that they could be looking at a 2K or a 3K and not being able to come back here, because that's a lot of hooks to be giving up right now.
That is a lot of hooks to be giving up, but we do see our survivors once again picking each other up off the ground as Vercon is back on his feet. However, they are still injured, so they are still giving all those free blood orbs to our Oni, allowing him to tap into his power and pull out the Kanabo.
Well, luckily for them, Oni is in power right now, so they're not dropping orbs.
No more orbs to be dropped, and we do see Ace get the reset as our Oni kind of is protecting his basement hook here.
Yeah, and for sure, really wondering, where are these survivors? I think even Oni is wondering, where are they? Somebody surely should come for the unhook, but I think they're spending the time on objectives.
I would absolutely agree with you. I think they took the time to go ahead and reset, because even though Oni is in his power, they know he's got to run out soon, and it's better to have that extra health stay than to not.
Yeah, and for sure, we do see all of our survivors like just playing as immersed as possible, resetting themselves and staying away from here. I believe we'll probably see, oh, well, we do see a survivor, and it sounded like we heard
Survivor.
somebody jump down. Maybe not.
Potentially, but it looks like maybe not, because that is Tinkerer off in the distance, and we do see Vercon over in this other corner.
For sure. So definitely we are going to see Oni get his power again. Well, wait. Saphis' timer hasn't moved in a while. I think that's camaraderie.
I think we are seeing camaraderie coming into play here, and we will see that generator pop, leaving only one gen left on the table for Corrupt to complete. But that camaraderie timer is running out, and we have one survivor in front of us and the other on the other side of the map, and Vercon is injured.
Yeah, definitely danger zone right now, especially with Demon Dash. He could rush back to the basement, and Zafis will die.
That is another death confirmed, and Vercon goes back down. And it looks like we're going to leave him here for a little while. If we see that pickup play done for a third time, it will put the survivors in a dangerous situation where Oni knows exactly where they both are.
Yeah, for sure. They are going to go ahead and hook Vercon, so this might be another hatch play. But if it's a hatch play, that's a Wrecking Crew win.
Absolutely. I think they do need to get Vercon off the hook here. Although I'm not entirely sure if that would be enough points finishing this last gen and getting the two of them out.
Yeah. And I think actually, checking the math real quick, I think it's over. I think that's all that Hamjum needed actually to clinch the win for Wrecking Crew. So we do see the second upset of the day.
I do think it is over here. I do see some comments being made. Let's keep it friendly, you guys, in chat. But yeah, I mean, if you watch comp for any amount of time, you'll have an idea of what's going on. You can make a pretty good assessment that this is definitely a Wrecking Crew win.
Yeah, definitely a really good Wrecking Crew win here. Seeing that the survivors are unfortunately going to have Vercon die here as well. Wrecking Crew just trying to add to the points a little bit here. We'll see if they can find Osaka or not.
And dashing around the map as best we can. Our power has run out though, so it's really just a race to see who finds this hatch first.
Oh. Well,
and unfortunately, it looks like Oni will find that hatch first. So now our ace really just has to make a play for those gates. They are on the same side of the map, but they are quite far from each other despite that. So there could be a play to be made here. You've got a lot in between. You can't really just stand in one place and walk between the two to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, for sure. It's quite interesting to see that this Oni has the Noeds, and that's unfortunate.
And Noed comes out to play. Unfortunately, Ace got caught at the door because that little light gave him away. And he will fall to Noed.
Yeah, and we will see Wrecking Crew just kind of putting it on a little bit more with the score here, because that's going to be a hook at 2 points and then 2 progressions at 1 and 2 points respectively. So that is going to total up to a total of 5 points there. But then you also do get the 2 points for the 4K. So actually looking at 7 points added to their total.
Absolutely, and good game from both teams, but it does look like Wrecking Crew will take that lead and keep it.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see Zafis with the little comment there. They're having a lot of fun. Definitely, all players involved were having fun in these matches. Zafis says, "Hey, Oni too strong, bro." They said, "I had a lot of fun." Facts. Oh, everybody had fun there. So definitely, we are seeing good sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship between these two teams. Absolutely, absolutely.
Man, that was pretty nuts, though. We are gonna go ahead and see that the Wrecking Crew is actually the ones convicted of murder. So that is another upset victory, second one of the day.
Do you know what? I've kind of noticed a trend.
Huh.
Whenever Spirit comes out, Grandpa also comes out. I've seen a few teams now keep it all in the family during a match.
You know, that's true. That's true. That has been a common pairing, it does seem. I wonder if that is on purpose or not. You know?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a comfort thing.
family.
You know, they both got katanas. Family.
Family.
I'm not up to have that be an obvious reference.
You said what?
I'm not bald enough to make that be an obvious reference.
I'm not bald either. I'm just wearing this beanie. If the beanie
Yeah,
was
it's
more
just a
skin
beanie.
tone, if it was more skin tone, maybe it would work. You know, like just like here. Hold
I
on.
think I'm picking up what you're putting down though. But either way, that is a Wrecking Crew win. But that was a fantastic showing from both sides here. Really good killer play, I think. Survivors did fantastic as well.
Yeah, definitely. And let's go ahead and see. Are we gonna have somebody in our interrogation room? Maybe get an interview in here from Wrecking Crew, because definitely that had to be stressful. It looked like Corrupt was gonna come just take it away from him after the early lead, but you know, it's interesting to note Wrecking Crew got the lead early and never gave it up.
Absolutely. They came pretty close to one another, but Wrecking Crew was pretty solid. I mean, not pretty solidly, but was like in the lead this entire matchup. So unfortunately, Corrupt just couldn't pull away, go ahead and pull away from Wrecking Crew in that last match there.
Which I think is, I think that's kind of interesting, especially because Corrupt was seen, or still is seen, as one of our stronger Survivor teams. So really good showing from Wrecking Crew to go ahead and say, hey, we are strong on the killer side and can really put pressure down on Survivors.
Absolutely. I definitely don't think any of these teams are really slacking here. Corrupt does carry a bit of a reputation with it, but Wrecking Crew didn't balk from that challenge at all.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know that I still don't see whether or not we have anybody in our interrogation room or anybody ready to hop in here. We're waiting for our team to designate who they want to come in here, or if we are getting one. So for sure, we will keep on waiting on that. But just really good showing overall for both these teams.
Absolutely.
This is week one. Yeah. This definitely doesn't count anybody out of getting to the final verdict, you know?
Absolutely. And as this is week one of our 12-week series, a pretty good time to be sussing each other out, taking in how everyone around you is approaching this. So a loss here is not a bad thing. It just shows you where you can improve.
For sure. I think mistakes are definitely where we learn best. So if you do come out of it with a loss, you have just more mistakes to dissect and be able to try to improve on those things and make sure that you come out stronger next game.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
For sure. Can I go ahead and do something, Shep? I want to nominate a high five.
Okay, my camera is a little zoomed in, so you might get the hand or you might get me, but I don't know if you get both. Oh, I went the wrong way anyway.
Yeah, you went the wrong way. No, all right.
I rolled my chair the wrong way.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Well, we're gonna get this down one of these days.
For sure. For sure. You can do the finger wave a lot better than me. What I end up doing is just rubbing my hands together like this, and it looks like I might be doing the finger wave, so But
my mom was fun fact, my mom is Filipino, and she did a lot of traditional dancing, so the hand waves are all very, she taught me how to do those. I learned them from my mama.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that. My family is my dad's family's all Indian, so like the dances we get are very much the Bollywood dances. I like to say that I have like the screw the light bulb, the pet the dog, the take the shower, you know.
The very precise hand movements too.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah. Let's get this high five though. Ready? 1,
I'm ready.
2, 3. That was good.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That was a good one. I hesitated
really
a little
good.
bit, but we made up for it in the end.
High five passed. That is so good. We love it.
Don't forget, guys. I saw all you little blood point gremlins out there demanding your blood points. Well, now you have something to use them on. You can always ask us to attempt really awkward high fives at any point with those blood points you've earned through your predictions.
That is totally true, but I do want to point out as well, we do have Kate Cook guiding the raid. We will be raiding Fear the Dark Wolf today. And hey, while we're talking about Fear the Dark Wolf, let's go ahead and point out all of those awesome, like, what would we call them? Like just game cards?
Graphics,
the game cards, yeah. That as well as like if you're in the Vigos Discord, which definitely join the Vigos Discord if you're not already there. You really should check out like the awards for every week. Those graphics are also made by Fear the Dark Wolf. Really, really talented graphic designer. So, guys, keep an eye on Fear the Dark Wolf.
Yeah. And speaking of our awards, if you guys want to make sure you are seeing our awards or have no idea what the hell we're talking about, make sure you check us out on social media where we will post our awards weekly. There are awards that are given out here. Such as Killer of the Week, Survivor Squad of the Week, and a couple other ones. So if you are not, make sure you follow us on social media so you can see who pulled out on top this week overall, over the entire course of the week.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm still kind of like just have adrenaline pumping from that entire match. Do you?
Okay, those are definitely very fun to watch. I'm definitely awake.
Yeah, same. We've been at it all day, and that's definitely been another exciting matchup to round out the day. And it looks like we may have somebody ready for our interrogation room now, I think. Just a few more minutes before we get ready for this interrogation. So should I be good cop or should you be good cop? Or should we both be good cop?
I don't know why anyone has to be bad cop. I don't think I could be bad cop.
I think I could. If you give me the opportunity, I could. Or
do you want to prove your bad cop potential here? You are the Darth Lord Vader.
I could do it. No, I can't.
You've kind of got the dark side theme going on with your lighting and everything's like white over here.
Yeah, it's like dark side, light side, right?
Very bright.
Right?
Oh, I do see somebody has actually nominated another high five.
Oh, geez. This is another high five. Are you ready?
Okay. This is for you, Travesty. Maybe. Let me make sure I go to the right side first. Okay, I did. Okay, we did it.
You know what's great is that's actually the right side of the screen too. So the right side, the right
yeah,
side.
So there was no way to say that wrong. Unless I said the wrong side, then that was the wrong way.
Would that be left? But it was the right side. Never mind. All right.
I don't even think too much about it. Yeah, it's really early in the morning here, so I'm like, maybe.
Oh my goodness. So you've been with us like all night then?
Yeah, it is currently, for those of you who don't know, I live in Japan, so it's 9:35 a.m. I've been here since about 3 in the morning, my time.
Oh my goodness. Guys, shout out to Shep for being here all day. So good. Oh my gosh.
This is all for you guys.
Oh man. So we're going to go ahead and get this high five going. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice high five right there.
A plus.
Choice. High five passed.
I cannot do bad cop, thank you.
Dang. Well, so let me go ahead and say, guys, we are going to go ahead and raid out to Fear the Dark Wolf. We had a couple issues trying to get our interview in here, so we are gonna go ahead and wait, hold on. I'm hearing something at the last moment.
In chair.
I'm still holding. Hold on, wait.
We're like on a break.
Oh,
real quick.
Hold on. I hear something. I hear something. Is this a Yo Humble Yourself?
Yeah, this is Yo.
I believe it is.
Oh my gosh, the man is so humble and actually here. Love to have you here in the interrogation room. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
Doing amazing. Yeah, definitely was really fun watching your matches for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. The matches was very intense.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way. You guys almost gave up the lead, but never once gave up the lead. Like, how stressed were you guys going through those killer matches all the way up to the end?
I think what was more stressful at first was trying to put pressures on the gens, because we was trying to figure out which gens we wanted to pop first. And once we saw one of our players get hooked, we was just saying like, yo, we need to stick straight on the gens. We can't get off. Like, just stay on the gens. Being that it's our first time playing in this type of league, we already knew what we was like coming with. So yeah, we held it down. We put pressures on the gens, and luckily we made it. We got a 1 out.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, in both of those games, you guys had a tough task, right?
I think we had a tougher with the nurse, because the nurse was putting way more pressure, and because she can just go from one side to the other side of the map, it made it so much more harder. But yeah, with Doctor, it wasn't too hard with Doctor, but with nurse, I'll say we had more pressure with her.
For sure. And with you guys did a really good job of keeping composure, but how were your killers doing? Definitely they had really good performances today versus a pretty good survivor squad. So walk us through like how they were feeling while you guys were in lobby.
Everybody, being that it's your first time playing in any tournament, you get that little tension that you get a little nervous, so it's fine. But I told my guys, like, y'all gonna play it just the way how y'all played in pubs, and y'all gonna do what y'all gotta do to get y'all 4Ks. I think Spawn played it amazingly when he played it with his spirit. I think he applied very good pressure. Then Claps, he applied crazy pressure with his own. I think he was doing really good, but they pulled themselves together and they got the 4K.
Yeah, hey, that's amazing to be able to do that twice in a row, and especially as I said, this is a pretty they have proven to be a pretty strong survivor team, and they are recognizable names in the comp scene. So definitely good on your killers to go ahead and do that. Yeah. Anything you want to say to your competition or to the fans of Vigos?
Oh yeah, I always say GG's to the fans. I'm always appreciative for all the fans that come out to watch us. I always gonna give respect to the other team. GG's to Vercon and his nurse. He played that very amazingly. GG's to the Doctor and to the whole entire team. Much respect to them.
For sure. And Shep, you got any questions for our man? Yo, humble yourself.
Yeah, you said that this was your guys' first time doing comp. Is that across your entire team, or did any of you come into this with any sort of experience?
None of us had experience. We just all played with each other for like so many, I'll say probably like 2-3 years already. So we all have very good chemistry. We've just been playing with each other a lot.
That's fantastic to hear. It really goes to show that chemistry is just as important as skill in this format.
Like, don't get us wrong, we practice, but we have like a good, common sense on how the game is operated already and where it's heading. I always said that the game is always designed to force someone on second. I don't want to call it tunneling, but that's where it leads to. So after playing so many games in pubs and just watching the same things what a lot of killers do, we were kind of used to that already. It's just a little different atmosphere when you're going in tourneys, because the tension rises up more. People expecting, expectations from you, and they want you to, do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, the pressure that comes from playing in comp games is definitely a beast of its own, but you guys definitely proved that you don't crack under pressure.
Yeah, we don't. We play through like any other games. Like we play regular pubs. That's how we do it.
I think
Beautiful.
that's a good way to go at it as well. Like it makes sure that you keep from just being overly stressed, right? It also keeps you from burning out,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like today, we was practicing all day morning, throughout the evening. Then we took a couple breaks, and then we just started watching a couple games, and we just relaxed. We try not to like stress ourselves too much with it.
Yeah, definitely. I
Because I know
understand that.
that it requires a lot of practice when you're playing in these type of tourney teams. You're trying to do good. You're not trying to make so many mistakes.
Absolutely. It is always important to kind of let out some of that pressure and enjoy your time together. If you have to spend so much time together, you should probably like each other, right?
I'll tell you this much: we spend more time messing around in pubs matches, and we have so much fun doing that than us always playing serious. I think we got to a point where we just have more fun than we play serious.
And hey, I'm sure like you're saying, you feel like you play better when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, when you're having fun, obviously you're gonna play better. I think that's the way that it should go. If you're playing it always serious and depending and having expectations, I mean, yeah, you can do good, but sometimes it's not always gonna go like that. But if you're always having fun with your friends and you have good chemistry, it gets you really far. And regardless, if you can't win all the games, you still have your friends and you have good chemistry with those people.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You never truly lose if you're all friends.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So I gotta ask, how'd you come up with your name? Like, why did you name yourself Yo Humble Yourself?
Um, it had nothing to do with DVD. I'll tell you that much. It just had to do with a group of guys that I hanged out one day. We was watching a UFC fight, and then we was just watching this UFC fighter just giving this man the work, and I was like, "Yo, that man gotta humble himself." And then everybody was saying it, and then I just said, "You know what? The next day I'm gonna just make a gamer tag, just name Yo Humble Yourself, and that's it, and it's gonna be funny." And yeah, one
The rest is history.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. I love it. As soon as I read the name, I was like, yo, I love that, because if anybody's salty in chat, you just be like, hey, yo, read the name. Yo, humble yourself.
I
Hey,
can't
you
tell you
good.
how many times I got in so many survivors. If I lose a game, I tell you this much. You know how many survivors will message me, be like, "Yo, you need to humble yourself as a killer." I'll be like, "Oh man."
Oh, no.
That's
It's good and it's also bad. It has its consequences with it.
dang. I
Heavy is the
understand.
burden.
I understand. I get it. Well, hey, I appreciate having you on here, and definitely, I'm looking forward to playing you guys. The team that I'm actually a captain of, We Overslept. We play you next week, so
I'm
definitely.
looking forward to it too, sir.
Yo,
All right.
for
No
sure.
problem, man.
For
Thank
sure.
you so much, man.
We still got to figure out a time though, so I need you to respond to me. You know, we got to figure out what
All
time
right.
we playing.
Yeah,
all right?
I just be so busy with work, but I'll definitely get back on there. I already saw some of the messages. If anything, I'll have Clap or Spawn have in
Sweet.
charge of it when it comes to time.
All right,
And then
dude.
we can settle everything there.
That works. And for the court, that's all from us. That's going to be it for the day. And we will see you back here on Wednesday for sure. So keep an eye on the Discord. Find out when we're going live. We're still working on scheduling so that we can tell you when we'll be gaming. So for sure, we'll see you out there in the fog next time.
All righty.
Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too.
All right. And
it looks like
court
we have a
is...
conviction.
Yes, we do have Wrecking Crew convicted of murder. And I think that's all from us. Court is adjourned.
Let's get this raid going. Make sure you guys stick around. We are doing a guided raid to Fear the Dark Wolf. Someone we have seen around these parts quite a bit, and a good friend of all of us here at Vigo. So make sure you guys stick around and show some love to somebody in our community.
All right. And that's all from us, guys.
Bye. See you next week.